Mad at me?
Yes.
I can see that.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're delving into the crime that rocked the VH1 reality world.
It was devastating, I think, for everyone in the industry when that happened, because I think a lot of companies had to look at how they were doing business.
Reality TV and safety.
I'm nervous, I'm excited, but most of all, I'm ready.
With the rise of reality television, background checks and the vetting of contestants' personal lives has not only become easier, it's nothing short of a necessity. Every now and then, though, someone slips through the cracks, like the dating game's Rodney Alcala.
Everything was sexy in the 70s. So we pushed the envelope.
The best time is at night. Nighttime's when it really gets good.
Megan Wants a Millionaire contestant Ryan Jenkins was another such example.
I typically date girls that turn a lot of heads. I love the chase.
His horrendous act of violence culminated in a crime that ended 2 lives and stopped a lucrative, ever-expanding reality show phenomenon in its tracks. It also served as a lesson to producers to double down on background checks, ensuring the safety of all involved on a production.
Ryan?
Sorry, what was the question?
The celeb reality phenomenon.
Billy? Mr. Idol, sir?
I don't think he's coming.
By 2009, VH1 had followed sister network MTV's lead and successfully pivoted from music channel to unscripted juggernaut. Its controversial celeb reality lineup, cemented by shows like The Surreal Life, reignited several celebrities' careers and created stars of its own.
That is ridiculous. Thank you. I appreciate the compliment.
The unforgettable Tiffany New York Pollard received her own dating show when Public Enemy hype man Flavor Flav broke her heart on Flavor of Love. I Love New York proved the network could poach its own growing stable of participants and turn them into bona fide reality stars. With Megan Wants a Millionaire, VH1 was hoping to continue that success.
These 17 unique millionaires answered the call, ready to take their best shot.
No, Megan, no!
And Megan had no idea what would unfold.
Megan finds a millionaire. Giving the unapologetic Megan Hauserman her own franchise was a no-brainer. Her runs on Rock of Love and other spin-offs generated enough drama to sustain the entire network. Megan Wants a Millionaire would follow her quest to find the perfect man.
Think with your heart. Think with your brain. I'm gonna do my best. Okay.
As the title suggests, one particular criterion includes a potential partner having the funds to make her a trophy wife. Production took place in early 2009, with 17 men vying for Hauserman's heart. Of the potential suitors, Hauserman found a clear favorite.
Ryan, please come here.
Excuse me, guys. It's good of you to choose me first.
Canadian Ryan Jenkins was confident, charming, handsome, and their chemistry was off the charts. The producers cautioned Hauserman against choosing Jenkins in the end. Apparently, he was not what he appeared to be. No one had any idea just how right they were.
I'm looking for honesty, and all Ryan's doing is avoiding my question. Not a good question to be avoiding.
What the background check missed.
I'm a freelance casting director. We have nothing to do with the background checks. Now, I assume because I've been on a reality show myself, and I know they did do a background check on me, my assumption would be that there was a natural vetting process in order, but I'm not speaking as a representative for the show.
Ryan Jenkins was born to a life of privilege in Canada, where he attended private school and then entered into a lucrative career in real estate. While his friends, family, and even an ex-girlfriend would eventually paint a glowing portrait of him, his record had one glaring red flag that should have disqualified him from the limelight.
Control yourself and not get physical with me.
I'm not going to get physical. I don't
Because that
have
would
to
not
touch
turn out well for you.
In 2005, he was convicted for an assault on another ex-girlfriend. Jenkins was put on probation in order to seek treatment for anger issues as a result. However, Jenkins's conviction was somehow overlooked by the company conducting background checks for Megan Wants a Millionaire.
His father had his arrest expunged, so it wasn't easily found when they did the background check.
The Suave Bachelor.
Hello, Megan.
Look, we're matching already.
We are matching. Have you met any Canadians before?
Never.
Well, it's about time, don't you think?
In the show's series premiere, one of only 3 episodes that made it to air, Ryan Jenkins is identified as the smooth operator. He portrays himself as a cheeky but genuine guy, winning Hauserman over by promising not to make her sign a prenuptial agreement.
The 2 most romantic words in the English language. No prenup. Bravo, Ryan. Well done.
Even though she suspected his reported net worth of $2.5 million was a lie, Hauserman admitted she wanted him to win the season. For the sake of the storyline, she followed producer advice to eliminate him ahead of the finals, but planned to make amends once the show aired. She even thought she might reconnect with him once the cameras were down.
So I just thought that I would just call him in like 3 days and explain to him the situation. But then he called me and told me he had met the love of his life in Vegas and that they were married.
Enter Jasmine Fiore. After losing the show, Jenkins apparently bounced back fast.
Ryan thought that if he couldn't be married to me, he would find another Playboy model to be married to.
Mere weeks after Hauserman eliminated him, he met and married model Jasmine Fiore in a quick Las Vegas wedding. And we do mean quick. The two were married just 2 days after first meeting each other. Still, Jenkins told Hauserman on a phone call that in his new bride, he had found his true soulmate.
He asked her for her phone number. She put her phone number in his phone, and under the contact, she put her birthday. When he looked at the phone, he saw that it was also his birthday. They shared the same birthday, and he thought that that was a sign.
Behind the scenes, though, the trouble began almost immediately. Jenkins's jealousy was a constant problem in their brief marriage. According to Fiore's friends and exes, Jenkins was challenged by his new wife's previous relationships with men. One of the couple's fights saw Jenkins charged with domestic violence in June of 2009, but it was insisted in at least one social media post that their life together was happy.
Honestly, the only time I had ever seen them fight, it was a money situation, or the credit card got declined at dinner, and it kind of makes you feel like something.
Did you ever think it would escalate to this, though?
It all falls apart. In June 2009, Megan Wants a Millionaire had yet to air, and the ink was barely dry on the marriage license when Ryan Jenkins signed onto season 3 of I Love Money.
I told him, leave Jasmine and get some space from her and just go get away from everything.
Featuring several celeb reality contestants vying for $250,000, Jenkins joined the show in order to fund a life of luxury for his new wife. But his jealousy and paranoia plagued him for the entire 2-month shoot in Mexico.
On July 27th, Jenkins sends this plaintive email to Jasmine. I want you back. I'm gonna do better. I can't live without you. I need you.
A former executive producer on the show recalled that Jenkins hounded Fiore by phone the whole time, accusing her of cheating on him. Unfortunately, his suspicions ended up being true. Jenkins did end up winning I Love Money's grand prize, but the season would never air.
And we couldn't talk about it. We had a gag order. They sent out emails. They let us know we couldn't say anything. We couldn't talk about it for a while.
A Grizzly Discovery. Once Jenkins returned from filming I Love Money, it became clear that Fiore had reconnected with an ex-boyfriend, and some friends suggested she was preparing to leave her husband.
Jasmine dyed her hair. She just wanted to become a different person. And she was actively trying to get their marriage annulled.
Jenkins and Fiore were last spotted together at a nightclub on August 14, 2009. Early the following morning, Jenkins returned to their hotel alone.
I realized something happened. From the time they left where the poker tournament was to the time we next see him running to his hotel room, he looks panicked and in a rush.
That evening, he reported Fiore missing, possibly unaware that her remains had already been discovered. It took authorities 3 days to identify her. By then, Jenkins was already plotting to make his escape to Canada.
Next time we see Ryan is at 6:24 a.m., and he's leaving the room with what looks like his clothing in his arms, stacked up.
The manhunt.
Let me just say that this past while has been a surreal existence for our entire family, and that none of the events fits the Ryan that we knew and dearly loved.
Although Jenkins's loved ones insisted he had nothing to do with the crime, the evidence told a different story. When Jenkins was formally charged with first-degree murder on August 20th, he had already fled north.
Jenkins was last identified Wednesday, leaving his water ski boat in Point Roberts, Washington, and was assumed to have crossed into his native Canada.
Evading Border Patrol agents and an international manhunt, Ryan Jenkins eventually made it to Hope, British Columbia. There, he was assisted by his half-sister, who paid for his 3-night stay at the Thunderbird Motel. On August 23rd, when no one from the room checked out, Jenkins was discovered to have taken his own life.
Well, there's no indication that he had any help in in committing the murder. I mean, that's all of the evidence clearly indicates that he's the lone perpetrator of this horrible murder.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. The shocking reality.
He stole everything from her, you know? He destroyed her. I mean, how much havoc can one monster create on this earth?
The tragic circumstances surrounding Jasmine Fiore's death had a lasting impact not just on those who knew her, but on the kinds of shows that made her murderer famous. VH1 canceled Megan Wants a Millionaire after 3 episodes had aired, and shelved Season 3 of I Love Money, which had been scheduled to hit TV screens in January of 2010. The network then went even further. They canceled many of their celeb reality shows, even those that had already been given the green light.
Every opportunity that I had was over. Every booking I had was canceled. Every contract I had was canceled because nobody wanted to profit off of that situation, which I can totally understand, but it was just really hard on me.
Reflecting on the situation years later, Megan Hauserman says that it effectively ended her career in the spotlight. But the bigger headline has to be just how close she came to falling in love with a murderer.
Megan is definitely into me, and I'm definitely into her. And I'm definitely not going home tonight.
Did you watch Megan Wants a Millionaire as it aired? Let us know in the comments below.